Today we're going to chat about Versulf the Grim and also how you can enter for your chance to win 540 raid gems, so stick around. Hey, welcome, I'm Leila. Today we're going to be chatting about the lore story for Versulf the Grim, who is the brand new Fragment Fusion champ for July 2021. He is a Knight Revenant, and his story actually really fits for the faction, considering that they believe themselves to be vessels of the undead and believe in a lot of sacrifices and surrendering their spirits to darkness. Also, make sure you stick around towards the end of the video where I'm going to tell you how you can win 540 raid gems. So sit back, grab a cup of coffee, and let's read the story of Versulf the Grim from the Tolarian Lore Book of Champions. He sought counsel from the masters of black magic of his court and those beyond. Welcome to Raid Story Legends with me, LeilaFox. Many a bard favors songs of good kings, just kings whose hearts bleed for the woe of their people and whose every day is spent in labor to assuage those very woes. But alas, it is the nature of mortals to let greed, pride, and ambition lead them astray. Such was King Versulf, called the Grim, for his humorless and cruel demeanor. Once he ruled a prosperous city-state in the land that would become known as the Stormwind Wastelands, and so great was his malice that not even the grave could put an end to it. Nothing mattered to Versulf more than temporal power, and so he waged many wars against neighboring states. His subjects suffered greatly under the yoke of extortionate taxes Versulf demanded to fund his schemes and the horrid conditions they were gradually forced into. But though the king was heartless and wicked, he was no fool. Around him, a coterie of devoted sycophants and bodyguards gathered. To them, Versulf granted dominion over all others to plunder and exploit as they saw fit. There was but one enemy Versulf feared: death. Though he mocked and defied the preachers of Leila in his private moments, the tyrant dreaded what would come of him if his mortal shell could endure no longer. Like so many others, he sought counsel from the masters of black magic of his court and those beyond. Yet the ravenous hunger of undeath held no appeal to Versulf. In the end, it was the emissary of the Cleth death cult that managed to captivate Versulf's attention with the promise of resurrection in a new, stronger form in exchange for his patronage. Thus, a terrible new alliance was forged. Versulf had dedicated the remainder of his life to strengthening his ties to the cult. He had given them slaves and sacrificial victims and wealth aplenty, and their strange hold on the kingdom grew by the day. In return, Cleth priests performed ghastly rituals to prolong the tyrant's life and prepare his spirit for the inevitable passing. Legends say he lived for no less than 400 years and perished in agony as his body failed at last, assailed by the countless ails and unable to withhold the onslaught of time. Yet, the cult of Cleth persevered, evolving into the militant sect known today as the Knight Revenants. And so did the covenant they had struck. Now the time had come, and after centuries of slumber, the ancient king has arisen once more. His new body coursing with arcane energies, Versulf the Grim seeks to reclaim the power he had wielded aeons ago. His city may be dust and ruin, but he has command of many cultists and has claimed the key of the Oblivion Vault. The vault contains mysteries of life and death that would allow Versulf's spirit to change bodies at will, thus ending his need for the cult. It will take a courageous summoner to foil the tyrant's plans and bring him into Lumeia's fold, for though he is a creature of evil, his martial skills and power remain a considerable asset that could be used in the war against the Shadow. Wow, so that was the story for Versulf. And as I had said in the beginning, his story really fits the Knight Revenant faction as a whole. And I love how they said that his story was actually the beginning of the Cleth death cult for the Knight Revenants. His story is another example about how corruption and power can lead to making poor choices, such as what he did when he sought to get the benefits of black magic. And even though he lived for over 400 years, they said that he had a pretty horrible and terrible death. If you want to check out some more lore stories and fun from the Tolarian Lore Book of Champions, make sure you click at the top up there where you can see the playlist for more lore stories with Leila. All right, the July Raid Gems giveaway is live, and 4 people are going to win 540 Raid Gems, and this is how you enter. Leave me a nice comment down below and tell me what you liked best about this story for Versulf the Grim. The Gems giveaway will end on July 17th, so good luck.